Alright guys, let's get into the analysis, the midweek analysis on the Euro USD and what we're looking for going forward into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I made a video last week, end of week, a recap analysis on the Euro USD, and basically let's go back a little bit to this point in time, right? Wednesday, March 22nd. And so I was talking about missing this initial support zone, which is the pivotal zone. If you go back to my other videos, I talk about the importance of the pivotal zones and how the market really respects them. Now, this is the short-term pivotal zones, or the main pivot zone, and then you see I'll get into the median levels up here, which is the short-term median level. But I was talking about having the price continue to the upside, and actually I thought it was gonna actually break once we kept testing this, but again, the market did not want to go below this zone, and it was the perfect opportunity to go long. Actually, in hindsight, when you look at the MACD hidden divergences and the RSI hidden divergence, but that's already done. So going forward, we got that nice pullback, and this is around this median level, this long-term median level here is where we started looking for an opportunity to buy, to see if we can continue to the upside and to run up to this short-term median level at 1.11, right? So we go forward, entered on a long position here, actually two long positions, and we're currently up 150 or 155 pips on this trade. So far things are looking good, and I was thinking that we are going to test this level today, but you can see we had this pullback, and then the market actually made a fake. Once the market was coming down here, I was like, okay, maybe we're going to test this again. But of course, I always talk about waiting for the daily candle to close. You don't know what the market's going to do, in the morning during New York session or London close. You don't know what the market's going to do towards the end of the day. I always emphasize the end of the daily candle. That's my experience, and it gives you, if you have your stop losses in place, it gives you kind of like a wait and see approach, instead of being jumping the gun and then going short or closing your positions too early, or moving your stops, and then your stops get hit and then the market reverses and goes into the direction that you want it to, right? So it's always important to wait for the daily candle to close. And I highly suggest anybody, I'm more of a swing trader, I'm looking for the big swings, but I highly suggest you guys trade on the daily chart and the higher time frames. Okay, so moving forward, so far the trade is looking good, and this is where we are right now. The market's slightly up 0.11%, but going into the end of the week, if we look at the calendar on Forex Factory, we've got ADP non-farm employment change numbers, ISM service numbers, unemployment claims on Thursday, and then on Friday we have NFP, which the market always, well, not always, but usually makes pretty strong moves and can get quite volatile during this time, right? So we always have to pay attention to what's going on the on the high impact news. I don't follow 100% on the news, but I do want to know that there might be a volatile day coming up, right? So that's the case for Friday, April 7th. Now we go back to the daily chart. We can see we're holding positions right now at 155 pips in profit, and not moving stops up yet, because I want to see if we get a follow through for the remainder of the week, or if we're gonna falter somewhere around here and make a pullback. But the other reason why I feel that this market's going to head up here is we look on the weekly chart. Let me go back to this weekly chart here. And again, I get sometimes people looking at my videos and they're like, well, this trend line doesn't make sense. Well, it would make sense if you would go back and see why I'm drawing them like this. This is actually a pattern that works extremely well. I've been using it for many years, and it works tremendously well. In the future, I will make a video or actually show you the book that I follow that helps me identify these patterns, and you can become accustomed to it and train your eye to see them, right? So this is called a broadening pattern. Now, with broadening patterns or megaphone patterns, I talked about on one video, we can see one of three things. The market can start at that low and start making a base and then continue straight all the way up, make a nice pullback, which it did here, and find support and then continue higher. And in this case, it found really nice support around that pivotal zone, which is the this blue line right here. Or sometimes the market makes a strong breakout, but it makes a really deep pullback, which I was looking, if it did make that pullback, we would get a pullback down to 1.01, and that would give us a really good opportunity to buy up to continue this trend higher. But that didn't happen, so we have to take a look at this median zone as our support in our base, and so far it's looking really nice. So I have these drawn out here. This is the short-term median level at 1.1 or 1.11, I should say, and I have this as zone 1 as a target. I'm also looking at this level up here, which is 1.15, and I might, depending on the price action, I might look to hold the positions that I have now for a longer term run. Okay, for one reason, we have this gap here, which I think the market may try to creep up and try to fill. But if I change to a longer term perspective, where this is a monthly chart, right? You see, we found support here, and we might make a push all the way up to this zone. And actually, let me go to the quarterly chart, and this is why. Okay, so I know this is a very long time frame, but it can still give you an idea of the longer term perspective. Okay, so if you're familiar with chart patterns, you know this is a falling wedge, and it's usually a bullish pattern, indicating that this market might continue to the upside, right? So you can clearly see the two lines diverging together, creating that wedge, and since it's to the downside, the the outlook looks more on the bullish side. Okay, so once we created that base here, now we stalled out here. Now we're in the second quarter, and I think that this upper trend line, this zone, is up over here at 115. Price may go even further than that, but it's way out, too far out, and we don't want to look at what might happen a year from now, right? We'll take it step by step, but right now we're looking at this whole move as a wedge. And on top of that, if we look below, we actually have a MACD divergence on this longer term time frame. If you guys can see this here, and this will be the low making lower lows, right? And then the MACD diverging up. So that in itself is pretty powerful signal that this market might continue a lot higher. Okay, so that's the longer term perspective. So if we go back to the daily chart, we can see that this market right now, let me get rid of this. Let me go back to the weekly chart and go back to the daily over here. So right now we can see that obviously the market has made a strong base over here, and I'm looking to see if we get past this zone, which is 1.11, and we start pulling back a little bit and messing around here and then slowly start grinding up higher. I'm looking to hold these positions for an extra, I don't know, this is extra 500 pips or so. Let's take a look. So it's about 500 pips or so on top of the current 155 pips that we're up right now. But I'm actually surprised that this market didn't want to pull all the way back here and close this gap. But again, gaps could remain open for a very long time. And then a few months from now, maybe even a year and a half from now, the market stabilizes and it comes down and it ends up filling those gaps. Right. For right now, that's going to be the analysis for the Euro USD. I really want to see what happens if we can push up to this level, maybe
by the end of the week or the beginning of next week. Let's see how many pips this is. It's about, all right, 125 pips or so, 130 pips. That's not too far away, considering we have NFP on excuse me, on Friday. So we'll have to see what happens, but right now positions are looking okay. And that's going to be it, pretty much. Short video on this on Euro USD. I will start doing some videos also on the SPY and QQQ. Sometimes I take a look at those to look for opportunities, but as of right now, I strictly follow the Euro USD and see what the major pairs, which is the euro and the dollar, and what's happening right now on this chart. If you would like some help with trading, definitely give me or reach out to me via the comments, or you can reach out to me at internaltrader.com. You can head to the website also right here. We have a lot of information. You can sign up here for the newsletter, and then sometimes they send out guides on trading, long-term trading and swing trading. Or if you want, you can take a look and see whatever you like and reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help you with your trading, specifically swing trading. So that's going to do it now. That's going to do it for this analysis video. But again, I always emphasize, guys, trade safe and manage your risk, because without that, you're not going to be able to sustain the losses. Everybody goes through losses. You're not going to be able to win all the time. The point is to win more than you lose, and whenever you have losses, they'll be significantly lower than the profits that you make. All right. So with that said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Maybe I'll make one at the end of the week, depending what happens at NFP. But I definitely will follow up and see what's going on with the trades, the current trades that we're holding into next week on the next midweek recap. So with that said, guys, take care and have a good night.